Hi everyone and welcome back to a new YouTube video. Finish saying what you again, see.
Hello, Hi everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Sisterly Conversation.
And our next question is, what is the stomach flu? So I'll ask Tony some questions about the stomach flu. Let's bring up her nurse cap, and she will give her answers to this. So what is the stomach flu?
So the stomach flu, also known as gastroenteritis, is the inflammation of the stomach and intestines, usually caused by a virus, bacteria, or parasite.
Okay, so the next question is, what are the symptoms of the stomach flu?
So some of the symptoms include diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, stomach cramps or stomach pains, fever, loss of appetite, and also body aches.
Okay, the next question is, what causes the stomach flu?
So, as I would have said a little bit earlier, what causes the stomach flu is either a virus, a bacteria, or a parasite. So, the most common virus for gastroenteritis in adults is norovirus, and the most common cause in children is rotavirus. So there's norovirus for the adults and rotavirus for the children. And then bacterial gastroenteritis can result from food poisoning. So basically what happens is maybe somebody might have cooked and maybe like piece of raw food went into the food while you were serving it and are using like a particular utensil or anything that had raw food on it and you putting it now in cooked food could cause bacterial gastroenteritis.
Okay, so the next question is it contagious?
It is very contagious.
How long is it contagious for?
So after the onset of your symptoms, so onset meaning when you first get your symptoms, it actually lasts for like 3 days or so.
Okay. So seeing that it is contagious, how who are the people that are most likely to be affected by it?
We as adults, and children, of course. But for the adults, sometimes we like to eat out a lot, go to restaurants and stuff like that. And then the people might not be preparing the food properly. So sometimes we, as adults, can get gastro quickly. With children, no. You find with children because they're playing with one another, the touching up this, the touching up that. The affected child is touching up, and then the unaffected children are touching the same place, and that's how they end up getting the gastroenteritis. But also in the elderly as well, you find it as well. Um, they would have the gastroenteritis, I think, due to the food as well.
People with weak immune
Or
systems
people with weak immune
stuff
system
like that.
and stuff like that.
Okay, so how to treat the stomach flu?
So, there's no real treatment for the stomach flu. You just have to let the virus go, whether it is by vomiting or by diarrhea. However, if you continuously vomiting and you can't deal with the wrenching or whatever, you can get prescribed Gravol. That's an antiemetic, and to yeah, yeah, you usually will use like Gravol for the vomiting, basically.
Okay, what should I eat with the stomach flu?
Don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
You can't eat because let's think about it critically. If we're eating and we keep vomiting or pooing, nothing is staying down or nothing is staying up nor going. And if it is going down, it going straight out from the other end. So you don't eat. But what you should do is drink a lot of fluids. So you want fluids that are like high in electrolyte, so like Gatorade, Powerade, um, like a home remedy if you don't have like the finances for those drinks. You could use water, salt, and sugar, mix it up, and drink it. And that will bring back your electrolytes because one of the complications of gastroenteritis is dehydration. And dehydration can be life threatening if not treated promptly.
So, how to prevent the stomach flu?
So, the first thing is to wash your hands. Wash your hands very well. Sing the birthday song and wash your hands. Um, so why I say that is because that's the amount of time you should take to to lather and do your correct hand washing. So the next thing will be to disinfect where persons who have gastro that they can't. Sorry. Let me go over that again. Disinfect anywhere that is contaminated from a person who had gastro. So what that means is if somebody touched the table or laundry or whatever, they put themselves, whatever, make sure that you wash up every single thing that you use. Because gastro is actually a contact disease. What contact means is that I could touch my sister and she could get it. Right? So those are things that you have to do. And then you just wipe them and clean with whatever cleaning agent you want to clean with. For those who are working and know that they have symptoms of gastro, please stay home. Stay home until the symptoms are gone and then wait 48 hours from the last symptom you had and then you can go back to work. But you do not want to contaminate people and cause a outbreak to your workplace or whatever. I would have spoken about the food. One of the causes of gastro is not the food that it wasn't prepared properly. So prepare your foods correctly in a clean environment. If you're going to use a knife to chop chicken that uncooked, don't use the same knife to chop up chicken that cooked now. Because all of that's contamination and then the person can get very ill. And then, like I said, with close contact, stay away from persons who have gastro. Let them just write it out. That's why you have social media. If you need to talk to the person, talk to them on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you go to do your instant messaging. But as for when they have the gastro, don't go near them because it's very contagious.
Yeah. So I agree as well because I personally had the stomach flu. I think it was in 2018 or something like that, and I believe I got it because I think my ex-husband had brought home some fish or something, and the thing about it is certain foods you have to be very, very, very careful with because because if they're not cooked properly, you could get really sick.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure, but I know that I remember I had eaten a piece of fish from somewhere, and I don't even really like eat from people that I don't like usually eat from. Like if we eat out, it's usually somebody that we constantly go with. Not saying that it can't happen with somebody that you're constantly eating from either, but usually if you're eating from somebody and you get to recognize how they prepare their meals or whatever, I guess. But in this case, I didn't know the person. I just kind of ate the food, and I remember I got so sick. My stomach, I think something that Tony didn't really mention about the symptoms, was my stomach was hurting so bad, it was clenching.
I said abdominal pain.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that part. But yeah, I have really, really bad abdominal pain. Like my stomach was just clenching, and it was just horrible. I was throwing up, the whole 9 yards. I had to go to the ER. What are you doing, your face? I had to go to the ER. And that's where they actually diagnosed me, saying that I had the stomach flu. And yeah, it was horrible. So I ended up having to wait it out, as Tony mentioned. I drank a lot of liquids, a lot of fluids, Gatorade. I don't remember if I had soup, like just the broth type thing. But because that was a good while ago. That was in around 2018 or so. But yeah, it was not a very pleasant experience, and I thank God I have not experienced it again. I would not want to experience that again because it was horrible. And I have endometriosis. Um, well, I don't like to say have because I like to say I had because of the experience I went through with endometriosis. But honestly, during that time period, it almost felt like a fraction of it felt like how I felt when I was dealing with endometriosis because of how the abdominal pain was really bad. Um, the throwing up and all the other stuff, all the other symptoms. I was weak and all that other stuff. So it was pretty bad. Um, was there something?
Yeah. You had to finish what you want. You wanted to finish what you wanted to say.
I was just saying. So I agree with what you're saying. When you are first of all, when you're sick, stay away from people because again, like Tony said, you don't want to get people sick. And not everybody also is in the same position as you. You might get better within a couple of weeks. Some people may end up with an even more severe um, illness or disease because they might have a weaker immune system than you have, or they might have other underlying illnesses that could be triggered by the same stomach flu. So you want to protect people, especially the most vulnerable in society, like children and the elderly, for example. So you want to protect people as much as possible, and also your family members, etc., etc. Any type of sickness like that, you always try to like isolate um,
Right.
and keep to yourself for the time that you're sick. But excuse me, I would not want to experience that again, and yeah, I wouldn't wish it on anybody else either. So
Well, I also had the stomach flu. I would have had it a little. I probably had it 3 or 4 times. Um, in separate years, Shanita, because I would have eaten out at some places or whatever.
you had it where?
In Barbados, yeah, I had it once out here too.
Mm.
But yeah, it didn't hit me too hard. But when I was in Barbados, I remember one year I would have had the stomach flu and I was constantly vomiting. The good thing is, I would say, is that when you have gastro, you lose weight. Look at God. You definitely lose weight. But the pain that comes with it is not worth it. So that time I was like vomiting a lot. So I went to the doctor, the clinic. So the doctor told me that obviously it's gastro, you gotta, pass it out, whatever, pass the virus. But she gave me Gravol, and the Gravol work, but I find parents, because their children are sick and they don't eat, they're like, you gotta eat same, but with gastro you cannot eat because nothing is gonna stay down. Right? I know back in the old time days they tell you to eat dry biscuit, but I find dry biscuit works after the virus
It's going.
is going.
And
Like,
you could starting to get
yeah,
a little bit of something.
right,
Yeah,
right,
in your
right.
stomach.
So like I remember my father was constantly saying to me, you gotta eat, you gotta eat. And the more I eat, the more I vomit. The more I eat, the more I vomit. So I had to tell him, just give me liquid, just give me Sprite, just give me Gatorade, anything like that to keep up the electrolytes. Because another important thing, as I said earlier, is to keep up the electrolytes because you don't want the electrolytes to go down. Um, because you don't want dehydration. Dehydration can cause hospitalization, and if not treated, it can cause death. Right? So, but you wouldn't find it would be a rare case to find somebody overly dehydrated to the point of death in gastroenteritis. Right? But yeah, after that episode that I had, I think I lost 5 pounds. I was very grateful for that. But the pain, and you gotta be careful who you are buying food from and stuff like that. That's really, really, really important. Anything else, my sister?
No. So just basically, what we would say, the three more most important things would be to wash your hands. Always constantly wash your hands because you could pick up a lot of bacteria and viruses from not only people but services and stuff like that. So Wash your hands. When you're sick, stay home. And you have a number 3?
And disinfect your house when somebody in the home have the gastroenteritis.
Yeah, and drink lots of liquid.
Drink lots of liquid, yeah.
During that time, no solids.
But Shalissa, do you have a number 3?
Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Comment, share, like, and subscribe.
Until next time. Bye-bye.